If you just joined us on the System After Dark, this is a homegrown number courtesy of E3 and Cracker. Bulla, how's it going? I'm D, your host on the System After Dark, right here on Today FM. Today's hit music. You can catch me weeknights at 7 p.m. That's from Monday to Friday, only on the home of Today's hit music. And don't forget, that's D with you every weeknight on the System After Dark. Even got that homebrew flowing.
In this bulletin, a Fiji First government promise to provide free milk to Year 1 students has finally been launched. The National Federation Party is appealing to the Prime Minister to remove the ban on former Fiji citizen Professor Bridge Lal. And the Suva High Court has set a trial date in a case involving an alleged $3 million scam. Good evening, I'm Jackie Spate and this is FBC News. An initiative promised by the Fiji First government to improve the health of Fiji's children has finally been launched. Akusita Tale was at Nakelo District School in Tailevu today and reports Prime Minister Vorenge Bainimarama launched the free milk program for 7 primary schools in the Tailevu corridor that will benefit thousands of youngsters.
These are the smiles of first-year students from primary schools around Tailevu, who are among more than 20,000 children throughout Fiji who have been waiting for close to 10 weeks to receive free milk. The promise of the Fiji First manifesto to provide milk from the start of the school year was delayed. However, today's launch proved the government's determination.
Not every Fijian child is privileged at home to enjoy the benefit of a glass of milk a day. But for Year 1 students, those days are over. In this critical first year of school, we are giving them a nutritional boost to strengthen their bodies, and it doesn't matter who they are or where they come from. Every Year 1 student benefits.
In addition to the milk supplied by the government, Fiji Dairy will also supply a wheat Bix biscuit for every student, every school day for the remainder of the year. So 1 wheat Bix biscuit and 250 milliliters of milk will tremendously boost the health and the well-being of our Year 1 school children.
There have been numerous reports highlighting the high incidence of students that do not have adequate breakfast, and many examples of students missing this crucial meal altogether. This means they lack the vital energy they need to remain focused and to do well. With the Railway Head Start program, we hope to change that by developing positive breakfast habits and improving our children's chances of a better education and a better future.
The first distribution of milk covers all Nausori district schools, Ba, Tavua, Ra and 13 schools in the Southern Lao group. However, the second shipment that's currently underway is expected to reach the rest of the nation's schools by the end of next week.
It has taken time to get the program off the ground because we were determined, both government and the company, to ensure that the milk reaches schools around the country all at the same time. These packets have a shelf life of 6 months, so there is no question of the milk being spoiled before it reaches our children. And schools can receive the supply in bulk to store and use as needed.
The current milk and wheat bix supply is expected to last for 23 school days till the end of the first school term. Akusita Tale, FBC News.
The National Federation Party is appealing to the Prime Minister to remove the ban on former Fiji citizen Professor Bridge Lal and his wife. The two were declared prohibited immigrants in 2009 for being vocal of the then government. Edwin Nund reports.
Professor Bridge Lal was one of the authors of the 1997 Constitution and a respected academic. He hasn't been able to enter Fiji for the last 6 years.
There is, in my view, no justification whatsoever to continue to put Professor Lal and Dr. Padma Lal on this ban list. And I appeal to the Prime Minister to immediately rescind the ban on those two individuals and allow them to enter Fiji.
Immigration Minister Timothy Natuva informed Parliament last week that Professor Lal was declared a prohibited immigrant, and as of now, the decision remains in effect.
He had been very vocal and opposed to moves towards democracy after the events of 2006. His actions were viewed by the government of the day as prejudicial to the peace, defense, public safety, public order, security of the government of Fiji. And by then, the Minister of Defense decision was for him to prohibit. He was given a prohibited immigrant's status indefinitely.
Under the Immigration Act of 2003, the minister also stated in Parliament that as a sovereign state, the decision to allow former citizens into Fiji rests with the state. Edwin Nand, FBC News.
The Suva High Court Justice Paul Madigan has set a date for trial in a case involving an alleged scam relating to the upgrade of the Nausori Highland Road involving over $3 million. It's alleged Firoz Jan Mohammed, the director of TF Jan Bulldozing Company, allegedly paid $110,000 to the two former employees of the Department of National Roads. He then allegedly lodged false invoices and circumvented procedures to obtain an advantage of over $3 million. The two former civil servants charged in the matter is Ilyas Turangavati and Navitalai Tamanitokula, who were then employees of the National Department of Roads, now known as the Fiji Roads Authority. The Standing Committee on Justice, Law and Human Rights is now open for public submissions on the proposed companies bill. The bill is one of the more comprehensive new pieces of legislation with 752 sections across 430-odd pages. Committee Chairman Ashnil Sudhakar says the committee is now ready to hear from the public. Today the committee heard an oral submission from the University of Fiji.
We are hearing the public submissions. We have sent invitations to the groups that we thought would be interested in making submissions, and also we have published advertisement in the dailies and also on our parliamentary website, attracting and asking people to, whoever wishes to make submissions and comments, to come to this committee and make their comments. For the next 2 weeks we will be hearing public submissions, and at the end of that we will be doing the legislative scrutiny.
The committee is open for public submission, both written and oral, for the next 2 weeks. The government will continue to expand the Weather and Climate Monitoring Network. Minister for Lands Miriseni Vuniwanga highlighted this while launching celebrations to commemorate World Meteorological Day in Suva today. Watisoni Rakandroka reports.
Vuniwanga says the government has allocated funds for the Fiji Meteorological Office to deal with climate change.
Government, through the Fiji Met Office, is at the forefront of this, with a budget of $5.7 million for 2015.
Vuniwanga says with these funds, the Fiji Met Office provides seasonal cyclone guidance around October for Fiji and the Southwest Pacific.
In terms of timely dissemination of information, a classical example is our recent preparations towards Cyclone Pam. God willingly, we did not become a victim. However, we must commend our team from the Fiji Met Services for ensuring that all Fijians had access to regular cyclone updates, which allowed us as a nation to be prepared.
Vuniwanga says Fiji needs to continue to invest in new instruments and equipment in anticipation of shifts in climate and weather patterns. The minister adds the Bainimarama government is committed to providing the essential service needed to reduce the loss in lives and property caused by natural disasters. They also seek to advance the universal goal of sustainable development and safeguard the environment and climate for the present and future generation. The government will continue to work with all relevant stakeholders and the civil society to share and apply climate knowledge for strong climate action to minimize climate risks and foster sustainable development in the country for the prosperity of the future generations. Watisoni Rikanroka, FBC News.
Coming up after the break, the Ministry for Forests and China's State Administration for Forestry sign MOU today.
FM number 2 in the series and on in Denmark ke Central Rental Support ke ne rosu ko minichi me ba na koloko. Ni sabola.
Oya wa Watisoni dalai.
Banga e mosdon.
nama kikirau mena tolu kena bitu ena via kabi moliti kena porombuka
Goria na lali ne kabi Bula FM namba 2 ena sere
My name is Luca. I live on the second floor.
Gold FM, only the classic hits. I hope you're having fun so far. You're listening to The Ride, and I'm Kara, taking you through your afternoon. Stay with me to listen to more awesome classics right here on The Ride. Mulubinaka, for awesome sounds in the afternoon. Wonderful, wonderful classics. Join me on The Ride every weekday right here on Gold FM, only the classic hits from 2 to 7.
Just don't ask me what it was. I think it's 'cause
Welcome back. This is FBC News. The Ministry for Forests in China's State Administration for Forestry today signed a Memorandum of Understanding on Forestry Cooperation. Fiji's Minister for Forests, Ose Naingamu, signed the MOU with China's Minister for State Forestry, Zhao Shukong, in Suva this morning. The MOU allows for Fiji and China to build closer ties and collaboration that will open new doors and create new opportunities within the forestry sector of both countries. It also calls for cooperation toward improving resource bases and more resilient forest sectors.
Fiji will gain a lot in terms of training, in terms of research, in terms of forestry activities and cooperation. Fiji will gain a lot.
After the signing, the Chinese minister stated they hope to achieve more than what they have set themselves to do under this MOU. A national deployment consisting of military personnel and medical officers left for Vanuatu today. The officers have been tasked to assist with the rehabilitation work there at the request of the New Zealand government. Savara Tambor tells us more.
Cyclone Pam devastated Vanuatu 2 weeks ago, leaving behind a trail of devastation which has required the help not only international donors but actual technical expertise on the ground. At the request of the New Zealand government, Fiji has been asked to assist our Pacific neighbour with their rehabilitation work. The first of two groups left today, with the other expected to depart tomorrow.
RFMF consists mostly of engineers and a logistics support team that will sustain them while they're there. The Ministry of Health consists of 12 personnel from which consists of a level 1 medical capacity, which has 2 doctors and 6 nurses. Plus the remainder will be focusing on public health, which is our health inspectors and also as of NCDs and also those medical skilled personnel who will be assessing and reporting back to Fiji on what are our needs that are needed for the medical.
Depending on the needs in Vanuatu, the team are flexible and can stay longer should the need arise.
The initial period of deployment is 14 days. That is as far as the government has approved for the time being. It will, from then on, after the initial 14 days, then it will be up to the government of Fiji and government of Vanuatu to make an arrangement after that if there is a need to.
The team were farewelled by the Minister for Natural Disaster and Management, Inia Seriratu, before departing Nosori Airport today. The team is headed by the Commissioner Western, Manasa Tangidagimbao. Sabara Tambua, FBC News.
The Old Vaisari Bridge outside Suva has been demolished after a routine inspection found it was close to collapsing. At the request of Fiji Roads Authority, Fulton Hogan Highways demolished the unsafe parts of the bridge located 30 metres from the Queen's Road in Vaisari. In recent years, the bridge has essentially been used as a footbridge.
Our paramount priority. So what we've done initially is close the bridge off to pedestrians and vehicles so that we can have a closer look and start removing the large concrete panels that are dilapidated and broken so that there's no threat to local people trying to use it or even boats passing underneath it.
The FRA is now looking at options on how to use the remaining parts of the bridge, including rebuilding it as a pedestrian walkway. The Public Trustee Corporation is pushing for more Fijians to have a will prepared. This is because of all the problems surviving family members have to go through in order to obtain their inheritance. Die intestate means you have no will and no one knows who your beneficiaries are, and your assets are distributed according to the law. Often this leads to families ending up in court.
And a lot of assets that we have is mainly due to family conflicts that are continuously not solved, people not agreeing to the distribution of those assets, and we had to try and come in there to mediate amongst family.
The process of handling an intestate death is time-consuming, and the trustee's office is marketing its services to hope that people will see the need for a will. Their strategy is paying off.
We have seen the impact now over the years that we have been doing this. People are starting to be aware that of the importance of will, and thanks to FBC we've been doing a lot of talkback shows in there, and it has been really working.
Pakala also confirms that any unclaimed money doesn't remain with them.
Now for unclaimed funds that we have, it goes back to FNPF.
Looking ahead, the Fiji Public Trustee Corporation is encouraging people to get in touch with them to ensure their assets are secure. Most of us can't bear the thought of our own death, but the main reason for having a will is to make things easier for your nearest and dearest if you do suddenly pass on. Jackie Spate, FBC News. A father who lost his son to a heart condition will begin a 510-kilometre walk around Viti Level tomorrow to raise funds for children with heart diseases. Michael Fong of Suva hopes to raise $50,000 from the walk. Ellen Stahls has the story.
Michael Wong has been training physically and trying to gather support to raise $50,000 for the Children's Heart Foundation. The walk begins tomorrow, which is a special day for Fong.
He actually turns 17 tomorrow, 24th of March. He passed away at this very hospital at CWM, and I had a vision on the 30th of November last year to do such a charity walk to raise funds for children in Fiji who are actually suffering from CHDs and making a difference in their lives. I know these funds which will be generated through this walk will not bring my son back, but obviously we can do something to change other children's life.
Showing her support today was Minister for Children Rosie Akbar, who says the ministry is keen to help with the initiative.
Our ministry has come on board to provide assistance, and in terms of the things needed during the walk, including accommodation, food, transport, and we have been very grateful. We have been very grateful to companies, the other companies' contribution towards this cause.
One of the sponsors for the initiative was Vodafone Fiji, which has been involved with the project from day one, having contributed $1,000 to the cause already.
If you see the team coming through, whatever you can contribute. It doesn't have to be all that you have. Anything that can help Michael collect 50,000 will be very appreciative. And I thought it's timely too for him to do this week. As we all know, Palm Sunday is coming up on Sunday. The theme suits the event very well.
Fong is hoping that more corporate sponsors will come on board and donate $1,000 each. He's also encouraging individuals to give towards the cause. Michael will begin his Walk for Life journey right here at the CWM hospital at 5 a.m. tomorrow morning. Members of the public who would like to support him, both financially and joining the walk, are welcome to do so. Ellen Stahls, FBC News.
Sports is up next. Here's Jamie now with a preview of what's coming up.
Rakataki and good evening. Up ahead in sports, Ben Ryan confident of his side as they depart for Hong Kong, and FIFA holds regional refereeing clinic at Fiji football headquarters. We'll have this and more after the break.
Gold FM, only the classic hits. Beautiful song from the group Firehouse and When I Look Into Your Eyes. Before that, you heard from Smokey Robinson with One Heartbeat. We'll take a short break and join us in the next hour for more music from Seal. Bulabanaga. I'm DJ Tora. Join me every weekdays, 7 until midnight on the Premium Classics. Right here on Gold FM, only the classic hits.
छू 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 हे हे नमस्ते फीजी आपके हर एक प्रॉब्लम की दवा लेकर मैं आ गई हूँ 9 से 12 बजे तक आपकी सहेली रेनू छू 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 40 में 20 का दिखना है मैं हूँ ना आपके साथ में मिर्ची एफएम पर 9 से 12 बजे तक मंडे टू फ्राइडे मिर्ची इट्स हॉट
Vodafone Fiji Sevens coach Ben Ryan says he has selected the perfect mix of players for the Hong Kong Sevens starting on Friday. The team flew out from Nadi International Airport this morning for the top tournament of the year, where Fiji last tasted victory in 2013. Josephine Navula reports.
This team is expected to maintain the winning run from the Las Vegas tournament as they head into Hong Kong this weekend. Coach Ben Ryan says even though he has made changes to the winning team from Vegas, he is confident the players will deliver come Sunday night.
Boys that have come in on form, you know, they were unlucky, the guys that missed out. But the competition's been high the last few weeks, and so, you know, you pick on what you see on the field in training and in the club tournaments. And I thought those boys just edged probably the players that missed out that were in the winning team in Vegas.
Fiji is currently placed third position in the Sevens World Series overall standings. Ryan says they have set a target on the number of points they want to earn this weekend and next in Japan.
We need at least 35 points. If we can get 35 points over the next two tournaments, then I think we'll be well in our top four and close to the top as well.
And no better way to start the campaign than against Pacific rivals Samoa in the first pool game.
Friday night against Samoa, you know, I've said it enough times, they're going to be a side that's hurting from all the criticism they're getting back in Samoa, and we've got to be very professional and clinical against them.
The other teams in the pool are Canada and Belgium. Josephine Novula, FBC Sports.
The World Rugby Pacific Challenge final between the Telecom Fiji Warriors and the Argentina Panthers is currently underway at NZ Stadium in Suva. Earlier today, Canada A finished the tournament in third place after a 28-26 win over Samoa A. The Canadians scored a late try to sneak past the Samoans. In another match today, Tonga A defeated Junior Japan 43-24 in an entertaining playoff for the 5th and 6th positions. The FIFA Refereeing Assistance Program is underway at the Fiji Football Academy headquarters in Suva. Technical, fitness, futsal and beach football referees from around the region and New Zealand are taking part in the one-week course which ends on Saturday. Here's Rohit Deo with the details.
Players are always congratulated after every good match they play, but a referee only becomes famous after making heaps of mistakes in the game, since no one recognizes a good display by the match official. In the sport of soccer, a lot lies on the shoulders of a referee controlling a match, and they can have a big impact on the final outcome.
It is important that every effort is made to ensure that each MA have a very high quality and caliber of referees. And with this in mind, FIFA has embarked on such a course. Referees need to be very fit and well versed with the laws of the game and its implementation. To the participants, make the best use of the course and aim to go home fully prepared to spread the gospel of good refereeing.
This is the first time for such a course to be organized by FIFA, with nearly all types of soccer referees being involved. The FIFA delegates believe the participants should make the most of it.
As you can see, we will share technical, fitness and beach soccer and futsal, a course organized in the framework of the Refereeing Assistance Program.
50 participants are taking the training to better their knowledge of the sport. Rohit Deo, FBC Sports.
That is your sports for this evening. It's back to Jackie now with business.
Citizens of Fiji are encouraged to register early for this year's ballot under the Immigration New Zealand Access category. Registrations will be open between the 1st and 30th of April, with the draw to take place on 5th of June. Each year up to 250 citizens of Fiji will now be eligible for residence, each year under the PAC's starting this year. Eligible citizens of Fiji, must be aged between 18 and 45 to register under the ballot. The fee for new registrations is Fijian $129, and for those who have registered in a previous year, $69. For the forms, you can contact the National Employment Centre offices throughout Fiji from later this week. There were scattered showers over the central and eastern divisions today. Fine weather prevailed elsewhere. Temperatures stayed in the warm 30s with a high of 32 degrees in Lambasa, while Sabu was the coolest at 29. Tomorrow, expect fine weather in the west across Nandi, Lautoka and Ba, as well as up north in Lambasa. Suva and Sabu are forecast to be partly cloudy with showers expected in the afternoon. The further outlook calls for more of the same fine conditions apart from brief showers above the eastern and interior parts of the larger islands. Recapping our headlines. The government's free milk program for all Year 1 students will be completely rolled out by the end of next week. The National Federation Party is appealing to the Prime Minister to remove the ban on former Fiji citizen Professor Bridgelal and his wife. And the Suva High Court has set a trial date in a case involving an alleged $3 million scam relating to the upgrade of the Nausori Highland Road. To our poll segment, and we apologise we are unable to bring the results of last week's question due to a technical fault, but this week we're asking, can Fiji win the Hong Kong Sevens with the current lineup? Visit our FBC website to take part. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. And if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. And that's our bulletin today. Join the team again at the same time tomorrow. Ni mo demanda.